Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Bob DiMaria. Some very, very good questions today. We had an individual that was hoping that we'd be able to answer this in regard to her mom who had 3 stents in her heart. She had no valve damage. She's diabetic and overweight. And her question is about what kind of diet. There's some people that want and they promote a vegan diet, a no oil diet, a no dairy, no sugar diet, and wants to know what kind of fat that they should follow. So let me explain to you a few things. We really like our patients to make sure they have the right oils in their body, and that's one of the reasons that we started doing the omega test. The omega test will tell me the number of oils for the heart, called EPA, the level of that, the oils for your brain, but more importantly, there's a fat called arachidonic acid and linoleic acid. And if those fats are elevated, you could have inflammation in your body. We don't promote sugar. And unfortunately, your mom being a diabetic, it means her body right now is, I think you mentioned she may have been taking metformin, can have inflammation. We don't feel that people should be on a no-fat diet. I've had people on no-fat diets get deep vein thrombosis. We've had people on the ketogenic diet have heart issues. You want a well oil balanced diet. Do the omega test. It was really good. Dr. Bob, I live in Colorado. I'm worried about my health. I've been for 3 months not eating well. I have diabetes, and the metformin you're taking causes diarrhea. Recently you had something called Diff, and you're just having some challenges because you're depressed, you have insomnia and brain fog. And you wanted to know, okay, what kind of insight could we possibly give you? So, because you're diabetic, your body's like a petri dish. So you really want to stay away from sugar totally. I may encourage you to try something called berberine. Berberine can help manage blood sugar stress, and it's really wonderful for bacteria, viruses. Now I know the C. diff's a pretty aggressive challenge. We also use a product in our office called Agricept L. It'd be really interesting to see what your CBC with a differential, that's a complete blood count, if you have what kind of major food sensitivity you might have, or a virus or a bacterial. It's really a good question you had. Dr. Bob, with all the news, everyone bombarding with the measles outbreak, why aren't more holistic doctors standing up publicly to support the growing number of people who refuse them? This whole vaccine issue has been around for a long time. I want you to know that when I have patients come into the office and they have a child that's autistic, I always ask them, when did the autism start? Most of the time they'll say after the MMR shot, measles, mumps, and rubella. And I'm going to throw another little thought out to you. I've had people come in recently that had shingles. And it's like, wow, where were these people getting shingles from? There's something called shedding. A little child could have a chickenpox vaccine. An adult with a compromised immune system might be by them, and they could actually have a shingle episode because of that. That's important. I want you to do more research on shedding. Now, to answer your question in regard to vaccines and what's going on out there today, the pharmaceutical industry is very powerful. I'm not backpedaling on that. I think it's political and it's social, and at this point we're just keeping more of a lower key when it comes to vaccinations. I personally would not want my child or grandchild to be vaccinated, especially with the numbers of vaccines that they're putting inside of these people today. Okay, with that, is gluten bad for everybody with a gluten allergy? Gluten itself will cause the villi in your intestines to stick together. That means you're not going to absorb minerals. You're going to have some other health challenges. Dr. Bob, I've been gluten-free for 2 years and have a joint intestinal healing, which is good. Will I ever be able to eat it again? You know, I quit drinking alcohol in 1991. At this time in my life, I'm sure I'll never go back to it. If your bowels and all that are better without the gluten and you've gotten along without it, you know, it's going to be your choice if you want to continue on with it. Dr. Bob, recently I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's and interested in cutting out the gluten. Any helpful tips? Stay away from gluten. We've seen that Hashimoto's definitely can be exacerbated because of the whole gluten and how it interrupts your digestion. Great great questions. I'm Dr. Bob.